students and crowd gave us a huge lift. So we played well. I thought it was one of our better games of the year. I don't think the lead ever got below 9 in the second half. Give Alabama credit in the second half. The first half they played bigger against us and were trying to keep us off the glass. We did a great job on the offensive glass in the first half, and they just said, all right, we're going to scrap that and play smaller, play our better offensive lineup, and try to spread them and drive them. And we got enough stops and we're able to keep a working margin most of the game. I thought our offense was efficient and well run. We had a couple little sequences where we took too many threes. One in the first half, one in the second half, where we just got trigger happy from three, and that hurt us. But Days got us off to a great start. Trenton Wofford did a great job on the glass and finishing around the rim. Emmett was an absolute monster, and Javante and Skylar did what they do, and Marlon came in and got some big offensive rebounds, made some big free throws, and I thought Andre Hyatt played great. The tip dunk, obviously off the missed layup. The tip in at the end of the first half was big, but he had some big-time deflections. He got his hands on a ton of balls and got a lot of deflections, and so we're very proud of how he played. He's really coming on and playing well for us.
Hey, Coach, can you just talk about how you think the team responded in that second half, when they cut it to 9 and you guys were able to build out that double-digit lead again?
Yeah, I thought we did a much better job of sticking to what we were doing, moving the ball side to side, getting the ball on the backboard. I think, what do we have, 11 turnovers tonight, something like that? What was it? 14. I think, 5 of them were charges. So, those are not, 5 of them were charges, and one of them was a baseline out of bounds where we could at least set our defense. At least in those, we're not giving up a bunch of live ball turnovers. We only had the one bad live ball turnover against the press, and they ran through one early in the game on a cross-court pass. But I thought overall we played better and played well in the second half and did enough to keep a working margin.
Coach, you mentioned the 6 o'clock start, so the energy and you have to kind of generate that with Emmett crashing the boards, making those big play dunks. Like how beneficial was that for him to get going the first half to provide that energy?
No, it was huge. I mean, he made some huge plays at the at the beginning of the game. He did a great job of establishing us on the glass and making sure we stayed on the glass and got on the glass. And then he had some huge baskets in the second half. A lot of times in the first half he caught it on the roll or behind the defense and things like that. In second half, he had a couple back to the basket post moves that were huge baskets for us and huge buckets for us, and he played really, really well. But our team certainly feeds off his energy. I think the crowd feeds off his energy. He's got a magnetic personality, and people enjoy being around him. And he's got really good energy to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if 2 questions ago was referring to this specifically, but one of the times when they got it to 9. You responded with a 6-0 mini run. It started with the Hyatt steal to Mays, right? And then the Mays steal, the putback, and then the dunk. But do you think that was a crucial moment in the game? And what do you think that kind of says about?
I think we're getting better. I think we took what we needed. I think we took some lessons from the last couple of games, and I think we improved. The first part is you got to build a lead. I thought we did just a magnificent job in the first half of it was slow, it was methodical. It was 6. They cut it down to 3 or 4. Then we get it back up to 6 or 8. We got it to 10. Then we get, it was just methodical in the first half, how we guarded them and how we used our defense to create offense. I thought we did a great job. And then the second half, we made runs when we needed to. We got deflections. We got our hands on the ball. We were able to turn defense into offense. And we did a great job of understanding when to attack them in transition and when to pull it out and run offense and make sure we moved the ball and did what we needed to do. I thought we did a very, very good job of that tonight, which is not easy to do against them. Look, our guys, listen, I did it in a good way now. Our guys understand that we have to get better. What we were doing wasn't sustainable, and it's not sustainable. And so we've got to get better. We've got to continue to improve. And really, I'll say this now. The real reason I did it is we were winning all these games, and our numbers aren't improving because we're not beating the computers. You got to beat the computers. And we've been giving ourselves opportunities, and we're not beating the computers. And so we just kept hovering between 23, 200. We're going to move up tonight because we beat the computers tonight. And so you've got to. There's other stuff that goes into this as we get going, and as you get further and further up and play better and better, the margins are thinner and thinner. And so, we kept winning, but we weren't, the winning doesn't matter in the net if you can't get your efficiency right, if you can't, all that stuff. Like, I was so mad we gave up that 3 at the end of the Texas game. There's a big difference between a 2-point win and a 5-point win. The 2-point win sounds nice for all y'all. Oh, they've won 6 straight games by whatever the margin is and all that stuff. Like, that's great. That's great storylines for you guys. That doesn't help us in the net rankings. Mm-hmm. And so, like, there's other parts to why I was doing all that. It's not just because, like, but that's, I mean, you got to start beating the computers. It's nice to win the games, but you got to win them by better margins, and because there's predictive models now in the net. So you got to beat the predictive models in the game. But you're not just playing the other team in the scoreboard, you're playing the computers. And so, that we need to get as good a seed as we can get if we can get in the thing. And so that's part of it too. And we just weren't, it wasn't sustainable doing what we were doing.
So how much of that is something that you share with with the young guys and want them to understand,
Well,
want them to absorb?
I share more about the numbers, about the possessions we give up than I do all about that. But they know there's a method behind everything we do. They don't necessarily always understand. I don't necessarily always explain everything. But, I knew we need to kick it into another gear, and we need to start playing better, and we need to start being more efficient, and we need to start doing things at a higher level. If we were the number one thing is you got to win. And then once you win, then you've got to win the right way. And so, that was the whole point. And I think our guys understood that, and I think you showed tonight. I thought we played one of our better games, probably one of our 3 best games tonight. Thought we played well, and Alabama's a good team. They're going to come in top 5 or 6 in this league. I mean, they're a very, very good ball club.
Coach, on Monday when you talking about closing out games, you talked about guys getting kind of lazy, the ball stops and things like that, and guys stop moving.
I thought we had great possessions at the end of the game, even though I think we had 2 or 3 where we didn't score, but we shot it with under 5 on the shot clock every time. We got an offensive rebound on one of them, kicked it out. I thought we'd had great possessions at the end of the game. That's the whole point. When you're milking a lead, you don't even have to score. Just run the clock and cut the possessions down. I thought we did a great job coming out of the under 4 timeout. We ran one of our longer sets, and we didn't score, but we the clock was at 3:12 when they got the ball back. And then the next time down, we ran another long set. We didn't score, but the clock was like at 2:22. So we had wasted basically 2 minutes of game time, and we had 2 possessions, and they had 1 possession. That's good basketball. It's hard to come back from a 13-point deficit if we're going to get that amount of time on offense. And so I thought we played much smarter, even though maybe we didn't score. Now we've got to run it and score.
Coach, speaking of rebounds, you out-rebounded them 49-31, and heading into this game, Alabama led the conference in rebounding. How much of that was the game plan tonight?
Well, I thought the game plan was obviously we need to rebound well. We did a great job at the free throw line. What were we, 19 of 20 from the free throw line? Something like that. We killed them in the first half. I think we were 17 of 18 in the first half from the free throw line. And they shot, what'd they shoot, 10 free throws? So, in their loss to Kentucky, they shot 12 free throws. They shot 10 free throws against us. In their wins, they're shooting 30-plus free throws a game. Everybody gets so mesmerized by their three-point shooting. And what'd they make, 10 threes tonight on us? Yeah, 10 threes. They average, 10 and a half, 11 threes a game. So everybody gets mesmerized by that. They just annihilate you at the free throw line. 10 threes is only 30 points. They're scoring 80 points a game. There's 50 other points out there. And they get those by just attacking the paint, and drawing fouls. They're scoring half of their other points outside the threes are from the free throw line. So if you can cut that out, which we did tonight, they have a hard time scoring. Now, they still almost scored 80, but it's hard for them to score if you don't just walk them to the free throw line. I thought that was a huge key coming into tonight. I've been preaching that for 2 days.